episode 513 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. On this Tuesday, it is the Tuesday Night War, and on this episode 513 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I will be talking all about the Tuesday Night War, starting with tonight's episode, special Tuesday night episode of All Elite Wrestling Dynamite Title Tuesday and WWE NXT. Right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And it's Tuesday night, but it feels like a Wednesday night. And you know what that means. Time to talk about a special episode, Tuesday night episode, extra long episode on a Tuesday night of AEW Dynamite, and it was Title Tuesday, a historic night, which started off with even a pre-show for Dynamite tonight that was available on AEW's YouTube channel, and then almost about a 15-minute overrun after 10 p.m. tonight. So we'll be talking all about tonight's Title Tuesday episode of AEW Dynamite right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. And also we'll talk NXT too. But that's later on. But first, what a night tonight was. Had two wrestling shows to watch, and I don't know if anybody actually tried to watch both at once or did like I did and watch the better one live and then tape NXT or DVR, I should say, not tape, but DVR NXT. That can wait till later. But definitely, I know people like different things and like that, but really don't understand why you wouldn't want to watch the better show first and then save the lesser one for later, like NXT. But let's get started tonight. AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, and it did seem a little funny watching Dynamite on a Tuesday night instead of the usual Wednesday. Definitely was not used to that. I just hope tomorrow that I remember that it is Wednesday, since Dynamite's not going to be on. I'll probably be lost and confused without Dynamite being on tomorrow night, but I will be able to watch Chucky and Celebrity Wheel of Fortune tomorrow night, though. And without any further ado, let's get into tonight's special Title Tuesday episode of AEW Dynamite from Independence, Missouri at the Cable Dahmer Arena. Our commentators tonight, Tony Schiavone Excalibur and Taz. And we start things off tonight on the pre-show, like I said, or buy-in, not 0 hour. I know they kind of keep switching back and forth between the two, which was on AEW's YouTube channel. A match for the Ring of Honor World Championship, the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship. Eddie Kingston taking on Minoru Suzuki. Wow, this one was a really good match, and that's just the buy-in. And really good match here. Eddie Kingston getting the win to retain both titles. Really good one here. And then, since we find out that Jon Moxley is not able to compete tonight for the AEW International Championship in the rematch against Rey Fenix. So Hook comes in along with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and Hook brings up the point that Orange Cassidy never got a rematch for the title. And he tells TK that he should give Orange Cassidy the shot. And first, Orange says, I guess. And then Tony Khan says, well, if you're not sure. And then OC says, yeah, I'm sure. So tonight, we have a match for the AEW International Championship. Rey Fenix taking on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And now it is time to start Dynamite on TBS. And we kick things off in the production truck, actually, with the AEW TNT champion, Christian Cage. And he said the whole thing with the first 30 minutes being commercial free is because of him, since he is the face of TNT and the face of Warner Brothers Discovery. He is the one that got them to let Dynamite be commercial free for the first 30 minutes of tonight's Dynamite. And so thank you, Christian Cage. Don't forget to thank Christian Cage. And we get the opening pyro heading in, starting off Dynamite. And we hear the music of the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, making his way to the ring, taking on Swerve Strickland, where the winner will take on Christian Cage for the AEW TNT Championship this Saturday night on Collision. And of course, we get the Prince Nana dance to Swerve Strickland's theme song, which I still think is great. And I kind of wish they would have kept the title on him a little, or kept the camera on him, a little more, instead of cutting to Danielson in the ring and cutting away from. That is definitely over right now. And even Swerve, I don't know, maybe they were chanting more for Prince Nana, but I noticed that Swerve Strickland actually did get quite a few chants in the beginning of this match. And he is over. Definitely very talented in the ring, good on the mic as well. But really good match here. I definitely enjoyed this opening match. And awesome match. Both guys worked really hard in this one to put on a great match for everyone. And in the end, though, it is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, picking up the win to face Christian Cage for the AEW TNT Championship this Saturday on Collision, which I was a big fan of this match. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 ring bells. I look forward to seeing Danielson and Cage this Saturday night on Collision. I would like to see them put the TNT title on Bryan Danielson, but I kind of don't really see them taking the title off of Christian Cage yet. And in a way, I really don't think they should, because Christian Cage, I think he's great right now in this heel run with the whole "your dad is dead" thing, which unfortunately Bryan Danielson's father is, but he hasn't brought that up. Well, they haven't really been feuding, and I definitely look forward to this one. Think they will have a great match this Saturday on Collision, but like I said, I think Christian Cage is going to retain somehow, either by hook or crook. Not Taz's son, but I'm sure they'll have him find some way to end up retaining the title over Danielson. But one thing's for sure, that I'm sure it'll be a really good match. And we get another video package focusing on Samoa Joe. And now it is time for Chris Jericho to take on the newest member of the Don Callis family, Powerhouse Hobbs, which last week was when Powerhouse Hobbs came out, attacked Jericho, and joined up with Don Callis and joined the Don Callis family. And this is hopefully will last, because they have had Powerhouse Hobbs kind of all over the place. First, when maybe not when he first started in AEW, but not too long after he started, he was with Team Taz for a while, along with Hook, Ricky Starks, and then he went on to have a brief stint, not very long, with QTV most recently, and then he separated from them, and now he is with the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Sammy Guevara, which so far I think is a better fit for him. I don't know if I think they still should use him as a single star. I don't know. I don't really see them, even though there is 3 of them, I don't see them having them like as a team that will challenge for the Trios Championships or anything. But who knows? I think it would definitely be better for Powerhouse Hobbs to stay as a single. And now this match, and Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win, defeating Chris Jericho. And I like this match. I thought they did a good job of making Hobbs look really strong in this one. They put him over Jericho. Mostly clean, I would say. And Don Callis was there at ringside, of course, but he didn't really do a whole lot as far as interference is concerned. Not really, but this was a really good match. Powerhouse Hobbs defeating Chris Jericho. And I'd say more victories like this is definitely what Powerhouse Hobbs needs, especially over a big name, a legend in the business like Chris Jericho. And maybe another singles title run in the future for Powerhouse Hobbs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. And don't know when exactly, but maybe even we could see him in the world title picture one day. But big fan of Powerhouse Hobbs. And then later, Excalibur would update us that Jericho has been taken to the hospital, I believe. Not medical facility, but hospital. And I'm sure TK wasn't on headset yelling and screaming, you got the medical, I can't say that word, but Felicity, is it? I don't know. You gotta say medical Felicity, pal. Blah, blah, blah. Which, that's why TK is a better boss than that other guy. And Dynamite continues with Hobbs and Callis in the ring. And Hobbs attacks Jericho again with another slam. And I know my impressions aren't good either. That probably didn't sound like anything at all who it was supposed to be. And next up we see highlights again of Roderick Strong and Adam Cole in the Kingdom. And Strong needs Cole to mow his lawn. And again, I'd say this one was a little better than the one we had last week. But still, I don't know why, but these packages with Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom, I don't know why I'm just not really a fan of these. I love the videos with Adam Cole and MJF when they played the Dynamite game, when they did the whole dodgeball thing, things like that. I thought those videos were great. But for some reason, with the Roderick Strong ones, just not quite as big of a fan as the MJF videos. Like I said, this one, though, was a little better than the one last week, but still not that great. So, and at least it's a way to keep Adam Cole still on TV while he is out with this injury and until he is clear to be able to get back in the ring, which, what I understand, could be a while. Not really sure how long exactly. I'm not sure if they said or not, but will probably be quite a while before he is medically cleared to get back in the ring. And hopefully, since Adam Cole is out though, I wonder if this means MJF will continue to have to defend the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles by himself in handicap matches until Adam Cole comes back, since has AEW ever actually said if they have the whole 90-day thing where a champion must defend their title in 90 days or be stripped? I don't remember, but and unless they do it on they just did at Wrestle Dream, so that was one defense so far. Also, I don't know if they're going to put MJF on Ring of Honor on Honor Club or not, but because Ring of Honor don't have another pay-per-view until December for Final Battle, and then but they could always put the titles on the line on a AEW pay-per-view like they did with Wrestle Dream. And now it is time for the AEW International Championship match. Rey Fenix defending his newly won title against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And it's too bad that Jon Moxley not cleared yet to come back, but definitely glad to see Orange Cassidy getting this shot at the title that he never lost, or that he did lose, but I shouldn't say that because yes, he did lose it, but the title that he never got a rematch for, I should say, after losing it to Jon Moxley at All Out. Sorry, I didn't mean to say he didn't lose it, but he never got a title shot for it. And this, I thought, really good match. Big fan of both guys, Orange Cassidy and Rey Fenix. Really good one. And I do like the whole thing where they almost make it seem like the title is a curse, because everybody that has it ends up getting hurt and working hurt with it seems like with each title defense that they have, they get hurt a little more. And Orange Cassidy, the first ever international champion, because actually when he won it, it was still the All-Atlantic Championship when he defeated Pac for the title. And then it was after that when Tony Khan officially announced that it was changing to the AEW International Championship. So first international champion, and then the whole reign, he had it and was defending it successfully in great matches, but they told the story of each title defense. He got hurt a little more. He had the hand injury, the back, the ribs, and almost towards the end there, some of the title defenses, he just barely squeaked out the victory with a quick roll-up to retain the title until finally losing it to Jon Moxley, and then Jon Moxley losing it to Rey Fenix, which really has been talked about, really wasn't supposed to be the finish, but unfortunately they had to go home early due to the injury to Jon Moxley, and they ended up, I guess, calling an audible in the match and putting the title on Rey Fenix. But now, not only is he the first international champion, but Orange Cassidy now the first ever two-time AEW International Champion. Big fan of Orange Cassidy, so I'm happy to see that. And I'd say right now, I know some people don't like him, don't like the character, the gimmick and everything, especially Jim Cornette. But who cares what Jim Cornette says? I respect him for being one of the great managers in the business, but who cares? Right now he's just, all he does is complain. And that's why I used to listen to his podcast just to hear old stories about when he managed Midnight Express, Smoky Mountain, and things like that. But now all he does is complain about current wrestling. He needs to shut up. It's just, I know some people would say the same thing about me too, but he's definitely wrong. He's too hard on AEW, and especially Orange Cassidy, and he's mean to TK too, Tony Khan. Tony Khan's a great man, and I wish he would come here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic sometime. I know he's not hearing this, but TK, great guy. And once again, sorry, really good match. I give it 4 out of 5 ring bells. Really enjoyed this one. And then we get some, I guess, silent films, as she called them, from Timeless Tony Storm. And other countries, I'm sure, hope probably got the sound and the audio for it that we're watching on like Fight Plus or whatever channel Dynamite is on where you are. Because on TBS here, it went to a picture-in-picture break for these Tony Storm segments. Maybe tomorrow or sometime maybe later this week, whenever, maybe they'll put them on AEW's YouTube channel, so you'll be able to get to see and hear everything that was in these videos. It looked pretty good what I saw of them during the picture-in-picture breaks. But like I said, well, she did say they were silent films, but I think some of them still have like music in them, or don't they, in the background? And we have Wardlow, after returning last week to Dynamite in action, taking on Matt Sydal. And referee calls for the bell. Wardlow hits 4 power bombs on Matt Sydal. And then for the cover to get the win. And Matt Sydal defeating him to get the quick victory here. And once again, quick victory, great way to use Wardlow right now. Just make him a monster and let him go through guys. I was kind of surprised that we didn't get more of like a local indie wrestler there in Massachusetts, but we did, or Missouri, not Massachusetts, sorry, Missouri. Instead of Matt Sydal, I mean, I know he's not really a big star right now, but has been competing in Ring of Honor mostly as of late. And like I said, I hope they get this up for just have Wardlow go in there and destroy guys and put them in there with probably just jobbers and have them destroy guys, like I said, and get these quick victories and then eventually sorry, back now. And eventually have them go after maybe the TNT championship again, or maybe even the world title one of these days. I wouldn't be surprised if depends who's holding the title. And next up, we had the remarkable Renee Young with Daniel Garcia. And next up, representing Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White taking on Hangman Adam Page. And this match is Jay White getting the win over Hangman Page. Pretty good match, I thought, here. And after the match, we get the AEW World Champion and one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and come out after last week on Dynamite. Jay White stole the Triple B, the big Burberry belt. Easy for me to say. The AEW World Championship, and it comes out MJF. He doesn't have any backup since Adam Cole is not there, and Bullet Club Gold ends up challenging MJF to a trios match, or an 8-man tag, I should say, if he can find 3 guys that can tolerate him, let alone want to team with him. And Juice Robinson actually brings out a roll of quarters. If you remember, MJF has told the story about when he was bullied as a kid. Kids used to throw quarters at him, and that just made MJF snap, kind of lose it, as he goes to the back, and he does accept. And to skip ahead a little bit, a little later on Dynamite, that we find out, we see the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn with MJF in the back, and Max Caster accepts and offers to be MJF's tag team partners without the permission of Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens on their behalf. He just kind of volunteers them to team with MJF. So it looks like we're going to see that match. I don't remember if they said when this match is taking place exactly, but we will see that 8-man tag, apparently. Just not sure as of right now when, but maybe I missed it and they did say when it will be happening. And next up, the AEW Women's Championship is on the line. Saraya defending against Hikaru Shida. Another really good match here. And at one point, we get Ruby Soho interfering. And she gets the mist in the face. And then Toni Storm comes out with her shoes, hitting Ruby Soho and chasing her off through the crowd. And Saraya grabs one of the kendo sticks and her can of spray paint, puts the can of spray paint in the waistband of her pants, and the referee goes for the kendo stick. And while the referee is putting the kendo stick away, Saraya goes for the spray paint, sprays it in the face of Shida, and Shida kicks out at 2, even with the spray paint in her face. And Shida does manage to come back even after the spray paint defeats Saraya to once again become, I believe, the first ever 3-time AEW Women's Champion in company history, which I am a big fan of Shida. And really good match here. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 ring bells. And I believe this is the first 3-time AEW Women's Champion in All Elite Wrestling history. Really good. And at this time is when we get the update from Excalibur that Chris Jericho has been taken to the hospital. And backstage is actually, I know I already talked about this, but this is when Max Caster offers up the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn to be MJF's partners. And then after they kind of ask him what the deal is with him and MJF, also is now time for the main event of this Title Tuesday episode of AEW Dynamite for the AEW TNT. No, sorry, I forgot. Christian actually does have the belt now. And Christian Cage comes to the ring with Luchasaurus. And he's taking on, making his AEW in-ring debut tonight, the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland. And still kind of getting used to not calling him Edge, but so far I haven't been too bad. I think only once so far on the podcast I've slipped up. And I thought this was a pretty good match here. And Christian starts off cutting a promo, talks about Beth Phoenix and Adam's two daughters, Lyric and Ruby, and Adam Copeland makes his way to the ring. They come out, and I thought this was actually a pretty good main event tonight. Copeland and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne and Christian at ringside, but Copeland gets a whole other TNT title, uses it on Luchasaurus, throws it to Cage, and then the referee sees Cage with the title, and then Adam Copeland gets the win, defeating Luchasaurus. And definitely not surprised to see Adam Copeland get the win in his first match in AEW. But very good, and Nick Wayne comes in and attacks Adam Copeland, and then Bryan Danielson comes out to make the save, and they jump on Danielson, and then Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta make their way to the ring to make the save for Danielson, and then we get the Mogul Embassy. Hangman Page comes out to the ring, goes after Swerve Strickland, and then in the end, Danielson locks in the label lock on Christian Cage and he taps out. So that is this Saturday Collision. The AEW TNT Championship will be on the line. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, taking on Christian Cage. And I think, just like Christian Cage's old nickname when he was in TNA, the Instant Classic, I think this match could possibly be an instant classic. And that was tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, special Tuesday episode. And let me just say, I thought it was great. Awesome episode of Dynamite this week. Thought it was great. And definitely, I'd say a thumbs up, in my opinion, for this week's episode of Dynamite. Definitely has me looking forward to the Saturday Collision. The Christian and Bryan Danielson match, I'm sure, will be great as well tonight, or this Saturday, which is also going to be a special start time of 7 p.m. And also Saturday night, we have Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. And that was AEW Dynamite on TBS from tonight. And now it's time to talk NXT. NXT tonight was their episode tonight that they got scared since Dynamite was going to be on Tuesday, so they threw everything into tonight. Just take every big star, throw them all on the show. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Asuka, throw them in the developmental for one night, since the Better Wrestling show is going to be on Tuesday this week. That was their answer. And for this special episode of Dynamite this week. And Cody Rhodes starts off, now one half of the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. And he says some stuff and talks about the women's breakout tournament, blah, 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 and brings up the tag team tournament, the Dusty Rhodes one, Tag Team Classic. That's coming back. There's no real surprise there. And he says Shawn Michaels made him the special guest general manager of NXT, blah, blah, blah. And then Ilya Dragunov and some stuff happened and blah, blah, blah. There was Dominic Mysterio involved. And then Roxanne Perez taking on Asuka, and Shotzi Blackheart on commentary. And this one was a pretty good match. Asuka getting the win. Maybe one of the better things on tonight's episode of NXT. And we have the Pub Rules match. The Brawling Brutes taking on, with Tyler Bate taking on Gallus. And this one was just pretty much a street fight. Basically, Brawling Brutes and Tyler Bate get the win. And they talk about Halloween Havoc, and we see John Cena backstage. And LA Knight. And now, let's see, Cody Rhodes backstage, and blah blah blah. We see Mackenzie Mitchell with Baron Corbin. The North American Championship is on the line now. Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, with Rhea Ripley, takes on Ilya Dragunov and LA Knight, the special referee. Not sure why. Probably just to get another big name on the show, since Dynamite scared him. And Ilya Dragunov gets the win for some reason. I'm not sure why they're putting him over someone as good as Dominic Mysterio right now. He's just such a great heel. And Dragunov, not trying to be too negative, I usually try not to be, but just boring. Sorry if you're a fan of Ilya Dragunov, but I just don't see anything in him at all. I just think he's boring, and definitely his matches, to me anyway, are not entertaining at all. Just kind of just not a big fan. And who knows, maybe one day he'll get better, but right now I just don't see anything in him. But that's just me, who knows. And some more stuff, and Lola Vice taking on Danny Palmer in the women's breakout tournament. Lola Vice getting the win. Also, we see Brian Pillman Jr. with his new name, which I know I saw it earlier, and it says it's a tribute to his sisters, but I can't think of it right now. And we have Paul Heyman introduce himself. And now time for the main event of NXT, finally. Carmelo Hayes, and with John Cena in his corner, taking on Braun Breaker, with Paul Heyman in his. And this one, Carmelo Hayes gets the win, defeating Braun Breaker. And The Undertaker makes his way out to the Kid Rock theme for some reason. Not sure why. And he gets in the ring with Braun Breaker. And let's see here. And not too much happens here. And that was NXT. nothing real special, especially going up against a great show like Dynamite was tonight, which was fantastic. I definitely recommend, if you have not seen tonight's Dynamite yet, definitely worth checking out. Overall, NXT, I'll probably, overall as a show, give that 6 out of 10 ring bells. Dynamite, on the other hand, I thought was great and just a fantastic show tonight. I'll have to give it 9.5 out of 10 ring bells. Not quite 10, but I'll give it 9.5 out of 10 overall. Great show tonight. And had some great pro wrestling and also NXT, but was a big fan of Dynamite tonight. And it's going to seem weird tomorrow night, being Wednesday, not watching Dynamite. And then Thursday, we have Impact and Ring of Honor. Friday, SmackDown and Rampage. And Saturday night, Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory and AEW Collision. I'm going to try to have another live episode this Saturday night on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, so stay tuned. Hopefully, talking about Bound for Glory and Collision. Like I said, not sure what time that will be starting. Also, before I wrap up, remember, in the comment section, if you have any questions, comments, you can leave your feedback on the 2 shows tonight. Let me know which show you watched. If you watched both like I did, maybe watched that great episode of Dynamite live and then just DVR'd NXT. If you did the same as me, let me know. Or if for some reason you decided to watch NXT live, get that out of the way, and then save the best show for last, maybe. Let me know. And let me know what you thought of both shows, which show you liked better. I have to admit, people calling this the Tuesday Night War. I don't know what the ratings are going to be. I don't know what anybody else, any reviews or whatever, are going to say about the night overall. This is just my opinion, but I'd have to say that tonight's Tuesday Night War, as they called it, was definitely won by AEW. Dynamite definitely was the much better show, and way better, mopped the floor with NXT. And like I said, hope to be back maybe tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night. There I go again. I was thinking tomorrow was Thursday, but maybe Thursday night. But maybe, probably not tomorrow night, since no Dynamite, unless there is some really big breaking news during the day, or if something happens, I probably won't have 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow night. But we'll be here tomorrow morning for Good Morning Wrestling Fans, the Wednesday episode, and won't be able to talk Dynamite, obviously, or not preview it anyway like I normally do. And that's all for this special live episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you everyone for tuning in, either if you're listening live right now or on the special or on the podcast version of this episode. Well, wherever you are listening, thank you everyone. And remember, this Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, in episode 10 of 360 Anything Goes, will be available, talking all about The Simpsons, The Old Man and the Lisa. Hope everyone has a great rest of your Thursday night. Hope everyone has a great Wednesday tomorrow, and I will talk to you in the morning. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.